off! Welcome to the 22nd episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with Rizky.
Hello.
Alright, and of course this is the show that's going to bring you all of the latest information for Brave Frontier Global, available to you on iOS, Android, Amazon devices, as well as Windows Phone. And we have so many exciting things to share with you guys. Especially let's talk about pairs for a second. Thank you so much to those who actually joined the stream live. We saw a lot of you interacting via chat. We did have our phones while we were doing the whole thing, so we were checking. Secretly. That's between us. So thank you so much for tuning into that. If you are able to, if you haven't seen it already, it should still be up on YouTube on the archive.
It is on the archive, so you can
You can look it up there and see what it was that was discussed. And we want to apologize for the large amount of Japanese that you guys were subjected to. I did try my best to get you the information that you at least needed, or what was pertinent to everybody across the globe. There was some information that was shared that was just for the Japanese players, so that was not necessarily something that applies to us, so we let go of that. But hopefully you guys still enjoyed it and had a kick out of it, because we had a really fun time there. And then again, one thing that we have to again clarify about the questions is that we had a little mishap and a little mix-up. I guess we should say a little mix-up with the questions, and only the European players got to have their questions answered, and the global players that sent us their questions didn't get a chance to have their questions answered. But that is being fixed today in this episode, so stay tuned for a very special Q&A corner on this episode that I hope you guys will really enjoy, because there's going to be some really good stuff. Really good stuff in it. Alright, well, it's time to get started with the Brave updates. And we have new GGC, Grand Gaia Chronicles, and we have the Blue Blood Revelation. And what is that? This is the story about Carl. And where does Carl come from? How did he come to be? And why does he end up in Grand Gaia somehow?
I see.
Yes, so it's a very interesting story. If you guys don't know much about that, then you play this and then you'll find out what it is that happened to Carl. The rewards, you'll get the Disciple Leomurg, which is a unit that if you have been playing throughout the Ishgria arc, you have encountered one or more several times. You get a sphere, which is called the Dragon Mother. Yes, and this is again in reference to Carl's origins. The damage-reducing sphere will have the following effects. When HP is below 50%, all of these will happen. So damage reduction for 1 turn, damage taken slightly restores HP, adds probable considerable 2-turn attack reduction to attack, and then 30% boost to defense and max HP.
I suppose permanently.
Yeah, I mean when HP is below 50%, so I'm not sure if once you get out of the red zone if the buffs come off or not. But I mean, it's still obviously a very good sphere, and it does sound like a protective mother, like the sphere name suggests. So be looking forward to that, okay? And the next update that we have for you guys is new battle room with the Sealed God. Yes, and the Sealed God, if you guys will remember, is Lord Lucius, who is a huge part of the Brave Frontier story. And we have the image on the screen, and a lot of you have been asking if Lucius is a girl. Lucius is technically genderless. It's a divine being that, it's not really known what he or she is. From the new illustration, it looks very effeminate, but just call it an it for now, because nobody knows what Lucius really is. He's just a god. It's just a god. Okay, so the battle details: on the first round, you will be facing the Sealed God Lucius, and then on the second round, you'll face the Amorphous Lucius, which, if you haven't been playing throughout the story, then you know what the Amorphous Lucius is. And then at the very end, you'll face the Sacred God Lucius, which is the one that you guys see on screen. And of course, the rewards: you'll get 1 gem, you'll get 100,000 experience points, you'll get 3 million Zel, and the amazing unit that is Sacred God Lucius. Yes, Omni, for everyone to enjoy. Which is pretty cool that we're getting the 4 fallen gods back in place.
But you have to beat Maxwell first.
Of course. One trial is not going to open until you have beat the trials before it, so make sure that you have beaten all the trials beforehand before this one becomes available to you. Okay, so Brave updates continuing here with new Omni evolutions. We have Lilith. a long-time fan favorite because
Yes.
she was one of the first units to have the Phil's own BB gauge max.
Unlimited SBB.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
very useful.
And I, for one, don't have Lilith. I've never been able to pull her, which is crazy given the the length of the game and how many times she's been on it. And just somehow she doesn't like me. But this is Lilith. Has she been implemented with more of Reese's 6 armors powers? If you guys remember, the 6 armors are a point in the story of Brave Frontier where a lot of like mecha related things have very interesting powers that certain people use to their advantage, and Reese is one of them. So had Lilith been infused with more of these 6 armors powers, she might have gained the ability to open gates to other worlds at her own will. And not only that, but with the strength, she would have been able to completely eradicate the god army forces and then track Reese's brother, Reyes, because if you guys remember, Reyes was lost. He crossed to the other side and nobody knows what became of him after a while. So she would have used her pals in order to help her master locate her brother. And unfortunately, there is no evidence that Lilith made it to the other side, to Ishgria, with Reese, but there are some legends that tell of a lot of goddesses that are very similar to them. So we don't know. It could be them, couldn't have been them, we don't know, but she looks great. She looks... I don't even know how to describe it. Like a full-fledged Gundam.
Full-fledged Gundam.
Yeah, that's the only way that I can describe her. Yeah, lots of firepower. I see lots and lots of blades around her.
It's like she's more of like a looks like a melee fighter instead of like like using guns or something.
Yeah.
That's interesting actually.
It is because a lot of mecha inspired units rarely use like blades that are not like plasma blades or something like that. You know what I mean? So this is a very interesting design, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna be huge on screen, so we're looking forward to that because the sprite is looking like it's gonna be quite hefty. All right, so moving to the other new Omni evolution, another fan favorite. This time it is Shida, otherwise known as the God of Death, because he is insane, to say the very least. But this is Shida after falling through the crater in Grand Gaia that he thought was going to lead him to another world, and indeed he went to another world. However, nobody knows what the world is because it wasn't Ishgria. However, being the mad, crazy, dark scientist that he is, the world is, the least of his worries. He goes there, he finds new things, he finds new materials to work with, new biological materials to work with, aka humans or monsters. And then he experiments on said things in order to please himself, because he doesn't really work for anybody else. He just does it out of, the joy that he gets from the dark research that he conducts.
It's just like, a crazy scientist.
Yeah, he's the definition of a mad scientist, really, a mad, dark scientist. So as you can see in the new artwork, he's got I don't know if this is the same life form that is...
Probably,
It's a head and it's an arm, so it might be that. So
it's a dimensional portal.
Yeah. And it's obviously dark, very, very dark. Kind of like a demonized dinosaur. So he probably found it just frolicking around, and he was like, let me experiment on that. And then now that's his buddy for life, I guess. Making savage beasts his slaves and stuff. But yeah, his horns have changed direction, and they're a lot more spikier now, so he's really getting that evil look on.
He looks more human than the previous one, because previous one he looks like dragon, like half dragon or something.
Yeah, I think once you cross to another world, you have to make adjustments in order to survive. So, but Shida knows everything about survival because he's been dwelling in the dark arts for a long time. So, but he looks great. I'm sure that a lot of you are looking forward to it. Risky, are you?
Yep.
For sure.
I think Shida is one of the best 6 elements buffer at one point, and everyone is using him for Frontier Hunter. So I believe this time around, people will still be using him.
Of course,
a lot.
Him and Lilith as well.
And Lilith as well.
Yeah. So be looking forward to those guys. Now we're going to move on to the Brave exclusive. So stick around.
Alright, so we are going to start the Brave exclusive section now, and I'm going to deliver the information that has been asked for like I think the past two BNCs.
Well, because we haven't said
Because
anything about it the whole
we haven't finalized
time.
the whole thing.
We mentioned the idea, and Takahashi-san was with us that day, and then our idea got smaller and smaller because he was like, I don't know about that. But now...
So now we have more kind of like concrete information now, like so I'll be sharing with you guys what we have with the development team. So yeah, introducing the Omni Plus. Yeah, but you know, I think I need to redeem myself because the last time I did say that, oh, this is just a code name, you know.
Well, sometimes
like,
code
names.
Just
a code name.
Sometimes code names become the names. It's fine. I don't think anybody needs to. You know, they've already been calling it Omni Plus in the community anyway. So that's what they're getting. We're getting the Omni Plus, guys.
Omni Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we have for the Omni Plus? Well, we have the mechanic now. We have like 3 tiers of Omni Plus levels available for unlocking. Each tier unlocks a higher cap for the unit stats. HP, the attack, defense, recovery, and the skill points. So for more detail on the tier, like how much cap or increase per tier, it's still in the balancing now. So we will share with you guys once it's confirmed. There's another mechanic for the Omni Plus that is pretty interesting. It is which is the power boost of the same element units through the elemental paradigm.
Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
The next slide.
Right.
And all the 100 plus of Omni units will be available for Omni Plus boost upon the next version release, which is 1.80. Tentatively, this version will be released nearing the end of July. So yeah, just stay tuned and look forward for our announcement on this.
It's an exciting summer.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the screenshot for like whenever you do the Omni Plus boost, which is like upgrading your unit to Omni Plus 1, 2, and 3. And we give Mifune,
and we have some of the items.
Some of the items as well. The boost, the boost item, the item that you use for like unlock the further level.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's move on to the next slide, which is the Omni Plus boost materials. So we have a few items here that we use to boost the unit. So okay, to explain first, we will have like kind of like 2 paths of leveling up. So you can choose either to use the primary way, which is getting some materials and gathering materials and unlock the further level, or if you have duplicate, there will be another way to unlock it.
Okay.
So let's go through one by one for each item. First we have elemental shards, which is a normal item here. We can get the elemental shards from as drop items from the existing game dungeons and content, and there will be like 1 shard for each element.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sample that you guys see here is the fire. There will be like so depending on your unit element, you need different shards.
Right. So where Omni Vargas, then you obviously would use the fire elemental shards.
If it's Mifune, you can see there's a kind of like the
dark shard. Yep.
And accompanying the elemental shards will be Elementum Tome, which is a rare item. For this item, you can get it exclusively from the limited time event and Omni Plus oriented game modes. Like we are going to have a Vortex Arena upgrade as well, which we will explain a bit later. And okay, there's a spoiler here, but yeah, kind of like login campaign, a special login campaign, and many kind of like in-game events and campaigns that we have. We will also use elemental shards as a primary way together with this Elementum Tome for the Omni Plus boost.
Okay.
And the last item will be Geminus Tome, which is a premium item, and you can get it from the exchange hall for limited quantity. And there are other methods to get it as well, which we haven't decided yet, but we are going to update you guys as the time goes. This Geminus Tome will to be used as a duplicate, to be used with the duplicate units as an alternative way for Omni Plus boost. So there are various way for you to do the Omni Plus boost. You can do like from Omni Plus 1 to Omni from Omni to Omni Plus 1. You can do the primary way, the normal way with elemental shards and elementum tome. And let's say you got a duplicate unit in between, you can always like switch to another, which is the duplicate unit and Gemini Stone. Yeah. So we want to give players flexibility to choose which method you want. Yeah, because maybe some units are pretty difficult to get.
Right.
But of course, if you get a duplicate unit, that will save a lot more time.
Right.
To raise the Omni Plus level. Sure. Yeah. So. As you guys can see, there are two screenshots here. The left is the duplicate method, and the other one is the standard, the primary way. Please note that these values are not final, so it's just a mock-up for now. We are still in the middle of adjusting the value. So yeah, look forward for the official announcement. And if you guys any further questions or feedback, don't forget to put your questions and feedback on the comments of the video. And let us know what your opinion about this.
Yeah. We're very excited to see what you guys think of this, and think about the flexibility that is being given. The two different ways in order to get the same result, which is really cool.
All right, so we covered the Omni boost material, and next the new system, which is the elemental paradigm. So elemental paradigm is the new things that will be available when you are having a few Omni Plus unit on your squad.
Okay.
And paradigm, elemental paradigm, as the name says, it has to be something that focus more on the same element, mono elemental squad. So what is the paradigm effects? We have a boost parameters of units with same elements.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get as the usual, HP, attack, defense, and recovery will be boosted. You will also have a boost for other skill effects such as spark damage, critical damage, and can even get a damage reduction.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's really useful to fight a very hard boss.
Definitely.
And there are there are 3 levels of paradigm effects to be unlocked in the battle. So how do you unlock the paradigm, elemental paradigm? The requirement will be all units in the squad must be of minimum of Omni rarity.
Of course.
So let's say you have a 5 unit in the squad, all of them at the very least has to be Omni rarity. Second requirement is that you have at least 3 Omni Plus units of the same elements in the squad.
I see.
So for example, to achieve the paradigm level 1, you need to have a 3 Omni Plus 1 unit. And the rest of the other 2 units can be a minimum of Omni level.
Right.
Yeah. Note that for the first release, we are not considering friends. I think we did mention it before. The friends Omni level are not affected.
It won't matter.
It won't matter. Yeah, it won't matter. So we are only counting on your own squad as for now. Yeah. There will be 5 units. So basically, for you to get the Omni Plus, the paradigm level 2, you will need at least 3 Omni Plus 2 units.
Right.
And the paradigm level 3 is the hardest, but yeah, the return is really good. So you need 3 Omni Plus 3. Yeah.
Yes.
The rest of the squad member have to be at least Omni.
Right. But then again, those units that you're using to get the Omni paradigm have to be from the same element.
Yes, have to be from the same element, because that's the idea. I mean, we want to promote back the mono elemental squad, because right now there's no clear function between the unit. You can have units for various elements, and people are rarely using the elemental advantage in the game. So the direction for the Omni Plus content in the future will be more focused towards the mono elemental.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that means then that, for example, if you wanted to get the elemental paradigm of Earth, like you guys see on the screenshot on the screen, if you wanted to get the highest tier of the elemental paradigm, you would need 3 Omni plus 3
Yep. 3
Earth
Omni
unit.
plus 3. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you don't want to have you don't want to go to the battle with the same unit, all 3 same unit. You have to strategize your squad. You have to put different role for each of the.
Right. I mean, they all still have their own different BBs and SBBs and BBs and stuff like that. So obviously using the same units will not get you the same results every time, but using the same element will start helping you a lot. And if they have the same Omni Plus level, will also be of great help.
Yep.
Right?
So for more detail on the value, for the paradigm level, we will update at a later time, because currently we are still doing the balancing on this. So look forward for the news.
Yes, look forward.
Yeah. So that's the Omni Plus benefit for now, the elemental paradigm, and we also cover the mechanics. Alright, so we are going to announce the next exciting things for the summer, which is the Brave Summer Festival.
Woo! Summertime!
Look at the logo, Shelly.
I love
nice.
it. It screams summer. This looks like an actual like water park like sign that I would definitely go to. Yeah.
So kudos to our artists.
Thank you for making it so fun. It looks really fun.
So anyway, for the Brave Summer Festival, we have a few highlights here. The first thing will be the game client update to version 1.80, which will contain the Omni Plus, which we have explained earlier, and the Vortex Arena 2.0.
That people have been waiting for forever. This is one of the questions that we always got like on each video, and it's finally coming out, you guys. So rejoice.
Yep. And on top of that, we are going to have a summer login campaign that will have many kind of rewards like gems. Well, a special summer summon ticket. What is that? Okay, we'll explain it a bit later. Global exclusive L gift, Omni Plus enhancement materials. Of course, we want players to try on Omni Plus, so we will give some, as a bonus for this login campaign. And everyone's favorite, the next summer special unit of choice.
Unit of choice!
So guys, think of what unit you want to get from now on.
Yeah, I have to think. The last time that I had to choose one, I think it was for the Spring Festival, right? And I honestly didn't know which one to get, so I asked on my Twitter, and almost everybody said Ilm. So I got Ilm, and now hopefully using Ilm will be able to get through a lot of the different trials. But a lot of units have come out since then, and I don't have a Shion, so
We'll see.
I did try summoning for him, but he just wouldn't. It wouldn't grace me with his presence. So maybe I might use this one too.
Hint: I got both of them.
You.
Oh, okay, no.
I will not gonna. Okay.
But no Rachel yet. Okay. Anyway. But in any case, again for the unit of choice, as usual, globals will require you for login campaign.
Of course.
Yes. Do login regularly.
Every day, guys.
Every day, and don't forget to bring your friend as well, because for new users, it's a good chance for them to
especially if you can get your unit of choice right away. It will help you out a lot.
All right, so earlier we mentioned about the summer summon tickets that will be used for the special summer Omni gates. So as you guys know, we have the spring Omni gates in the spring campaign, and we have like a great huge pool of like Omni only unit, and the pool is reducing by every time you summon, the pool is getting smaller and smaller, which is a very good I would say summon for all the players. And there are many ways for you to get like the summon ticket as well, the summer summon ticket. So do participate in the in-game event, in the community event as well. Log in regularly, bring your friends. You will have many ways of getting the summer summon tickets. Yes,
looking forward to that.
Right, and last but not least, we have the various in-game campaigns and community events. So, as usual, everyone's favorite Super Karma Dungeon.
Yes, time to level up!
Yeah, and Vortex Arena new season, and there will be many more that we can only unveil maybe in the next BNC episode, because the event is going to be long, from July 15 to end of August. It can even extend. So we are not going to unveil everything now, but look forward for the next BNC for more updates on the August. All right, so on top of the usual summer campaign, we do have the Guild Raid Season 5. So we are going to introduce 2 units here. The first unit is the summon unit, which is Laressa.
Wow, I love her design.
What do you think of, like, what is that starship behind her.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a starship, but then at the same time, she's giving me all these like commander pirate. I don't know necessarily a pirate, but like maybe like a galactical pirate kind of thing.
She's kind of like the unit from this batch is actually having a very similar background with the previous unit that we announced in the live broadcast. Basically, they are like related to the first three, the unit from the first three guild raid.
Yeah, right.
From the season 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So there's some kind of relation, either like the disciple or like maybe the captain or the boss or something.
Okay.
I don't have the final story yet for these two units, so look forward for the announcement.
I'm really curious to see what it is that where they come from.
But certainly, just one kind of like spoiler for you guys. For the Omni version, you can see a huge ship coming from the sky. Yeah, this is the first time you're trying it, so.
Oh, I hope it looks cool.
It's like huge. Literally.
Like, does it cover like the whole screen? Oh my god, it's finally happened. Yeah. The sprite is taking literally the whole screen.
The team is trying something new, so yeah, look forward for
I'm really excited for that. Awesome.
Alright, so the next unit for the Guild Raid Season 5 will be Ravea, which is the reward unit. So yeah, earlier when we have a meeting with Takahashi-san, he was commenting like, oh, this unit looks very like a Japanese armor.
Yes, yes.
What do you think of her?
I honestly am so in love with this unit's design. I was actually telling some of the team after I got to see it that I want to cosplay as this character because she looks so cool. And I don't say that about everything because I love many characters and many designs. And I don't do cosplay like at all, but just seeing how beautiful she looks, it makes me want to be her. So like I just want to be a Ravea. Right. So I am completely in love with her.
Yeah, I really love the Japanese armor design in general. So, yeah. So you guys can see that we have the 7-star and the Omni version is still a rough concept now. So you can see it's like a draft version of the effect. But yeah, when it will be out on the nearing end of July usually for the Guild Raid season, you guys can see the final version of her.
Yes,
yeah, so
really
look forward for it.
I really love this design.
Alright, so moving on to the next update, we have the Vortex Arena 2.0. Yay!
Yes, it's finally here, guys. Finally.
So we will have like the first season for Vortex Arena will be tentatively July 31st to August 4th. So hopefully no major things happening, so we can run it. We are going to have a 6th season of Elemental Vortex Arenas this time. So there will be, on top of the previous Fire, Water, Earth, and Thunder, we're going to add Dark and Light.
Finally, which is another thing many players asked from a long time ago.
Yeah. So that will require mono elemental squad to participate. Of course, prepare your and this is kind of like content that is catered towards the Omni Plus as well. So this time around you can take advantage of your elemental paradigm and in the Vortex Arena to excel. And we do update the Vortex Orbs to 6 with reveals rate of 1 orb per hour. Previously it was 20 minutes per orb, and people are like, I don't like, people think it's too grindy. Yeah, you can't breathe. You can have like a rest time. Right. So we try to adjust the orb number to 1 per hour. So hopefully with this, like you can at least sleep for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Before you
set your alarm and
finish
go
your
to bed.
Sleep for 6 hours at least, and
instead of every 20 minutes having to go back.
And you can also, the new things added in the Vortex Arena 2.0 is the Vortex tokens. So by achieving daily and overall ranking as well as an individual milestone, you will get more tokens, the Vortex Arena tokens, and we can exchange it in the event bazaar with various items, such as like premium Omni Plus level spheres only, gifts, and of course the Omni Plus boost material. Right. So that that will help you to upgrade more of your units to Omni Plus.
Excellent.
And the last thing will be each season we'll also introduce a new limited edition elemental unit. additional skill in Vortex Arena.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is this unit? So let's go to the
take
next
a look at the
slide.
unit.
So this is kind of like
look familiar?
Yeah, look familiar, but it's different.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's slightly a different story for him. So Blaze is coming back as the champion of the Vortex Arena, but this time around he will be coming back as a special summon.
Okay.
During the Vortex Arena. So previously the unit, Blaze unit was used as a reward arena, and it's up to like 5 stars only. Yeah. So it used to be more of like collectibles kind of unit, but right now we want to give like more power to him, like basically, you know, make it usable. So make him usable. So this will be a screenshot for Blaze for now. So look forward for him, and there will be like each heroes for every element as well. We have all the way up to the Thunder, but Dark and Light will be a surprise for now.
Because we've never seen them before, so that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to all of these, and I can tell you, I have none of them. I have 0 of them, so this is my chance.
It requires.
This is my chance.
Well, these heroes are given as a milestone reward, so you don't have to rank high, but you have to play consistently.
Yes, that was the problem. I didn't play consistently, so I don't have any of them.
Yeah, okay, so look forward for the Vortex Arena 2.0 as well.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting updates, and
that's it for the Brave Exclusives. So now we are going to have our Q&A corner. There's summoners questions, Brave questions for you guys that is going to be a little bit special because we have a guest with us today, so stick around, guys. All right, and now it's time for our Brave Answers, but we have a very special version of Brave Answers today, which is actually going to be Tell Us, Alim, because we have Takahashi-san with us today. Yay!
Konnichiwa. Mata kite shimai
Yes, he's back. He's back, and he's here to answer you guys' questions that we unfortunately missed during the broadcast that we had in Paris. We had a little bit of a mix-up, and only European players' questions were answered, and we didn't get a chance to have our global players' questions answered. So Takahashi-san has come here today to answer all of those questions that got missed out. So we're really, really happy to have it here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right, Risky, so are you ready to start us off with the questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's start from the first question from Mintaka. Okay, we have 3 questions here, so I'll read all the questions. First, have you thought of changing weapon art as the weapon levels up? Second, any plans to incorporate summoner avatar in normal quests? And the third, will BF1 have an ending? For example, summoner marries Lilith.
Very interesting.
ミンタカさん、これは本当にパリでやりたかったですね。素晴らしくいい質問ですね。中の人が作ったかったですね。
No, we didn't do it. So Takahashi-san says it's a really good question to start with, and he's actually wondering if one of us slipped the question in there, but it wasn't from us, it was from Mintaka. So can you please answer, Mintaka?
はい。まずね、武器が強くなるとビジュアルも変わる。これはまあ第3部ですね。召喚士ユニットのことを全部質問なんでしょうけど。そうです。今も武器が変わるとその絵は変わってるんですけど、これはね、まあブレフロ1では今のやり方のまま最後までいくと思います。ただ、ブレフロ2の方はちょっと同じように召喚士自身が主人公としてゲームに入ってくるんですけど、ちょっと違う仕組みになるので、その武器にこう属性がくっついてる、紐づいてる。この剣は炎だよとか、この斧は木属性だよとかってなっていて、進化するとそのまあ見た目も変わる。別のものになる。
Alright, so for Brave Frontier 1, unfortunately for the Summoner Avatar series, the weapons are going to remain looking the same. Of course, they will change according to the element because of the color, as they always do. So that's probably going to remain the same. However, for Brave Frontier 2, the way that the Summoner will go about using weapons is that certain weapons will be assigned only a certain element. So he said, for example, one sword will be just like a fire sword, and then when that sword is leveled up, then the actual visuals of the sword will change with it. But for Brave Frontier 1, I don't think we're going to get any changes as far as like leveling up the weapons.
でさらに進化するときに分岐進化、A が B になります、C になりますじゃなくて A が B か C にどっちかに進化できますってやつが入ります。
Okay, and not only that, but the way that you evolve your weapons and level up your weapons, you will have several options to choose from. Your weapon may become, may go from A to B or from A to C, so you will have different options as to how to evolve your weapons in Brave Frontier 2, which is very interesting.
はい。2つ目、召喚士は普通のクエストで使えるようになりますか？これはイエスですね。もう
Okay.
これは開発今進めてます。
Well, you heard it here first. You will be able to use your summoner avatar in normal quests really soon in the future. It's in development now, so rejoice. This is actually really exciting. I'm like really hot right now. Wow.
今ね、日本で一部の機能を除いて使えるように開発します。普通のクエスト、ノーマルクエストはもちろんいけるし、あと試練とか今東部のマップにもありますけど、ああいう高難度クエストあっちには使えるですね。使えるようになります。アリーナとかコロシアムとかには使えない。レードバトルだったりとかマルチプレイの方は最初は使えない。もしかするとそのまま使えないかもしれない。優先して通常ノーマルテスト使えるようにしていきたい。
Okay, so now they're prioritizing where to implement the summoner avatar as far as normal quests go. And for example, for raid or multiplayer and Coliseum and Arena, they're not thinking that this is a possibility at this point in time. But however, for trials and things like that, normal quests and perhaps like the dungeons in the Vortex, it might be completely possible, and that's what they're working on developing now, which is really exciting.
アリーナとねコロシアムでなんで使えないかっていうのは、実はアリーナとコロシアムは召喚術を鍛えるための場所です。だから5人しか入ってないんですね、ユニットの5体で。セリアも初め出てきたでしょ、アリーナで。でもセリアいなかったりセリアが召喚した5個と他の人が召喚した5個の召喚術を競わせ合っている闘技場だから本人は出ない。
Okay, well, he just explained that the reason why the summoner avatar cannot participate in the arena and the Coliseum is because the arena and the Coliseum is actually a place where you hone your summoner abilities. So you, as a summoner, wouldn't be fighting just in the way that Saria, who you also see in the arena, is not fighting herself. She's not actually in the Coliseum, like in the arena, trying to beat you, because she's using her summoned units to test her summoner abilities against your summoner abilities. And that's why you won't be able to use the summoner avatar in that mode.
3番目ですね。BF1 エンディング。ティリと召喚師の結婚はしないですけど。ただね、これね、みんな気になってると思うんですよね。日本の映像も気になってるのかなと思うんですけど、これね、ちょうど今、どうかね、エンディング作りますよ。
Alright, well.
言っていいのかな、これ。
Well.
またワチさんに怒られちゃう。
He's not sure if he's supposed to share this information with us or not, but I'm gonna translate it because it's my job anyway. But he said that there will be an ending to Brave Frontier 1. They're working on making that now. However, he's not really sure that the summoner is gonna marry Lilith. I mean, it's a nice idea and it's really funny, but it might not be in the works, that part at least. But an ending for Brave Frontier 1 is being made as we speak.
ちょっと誤解がないようにね、ちょっと言っておかなきゃなと思うのが、ブレフロ1自体のサービス、ゲームのプレイは続くよって話をずっとしてるじゃないですか。ただストーリーとしてのブレイブフロンティア1の、物語の始まりから、ここでその召喚師および虹の女神の冒険のメインはここで一旦 区切りです。っていう意味でのエンディング。
Right.
シーズンみたいな。
そうですそうですそうです。
Like season 1.
シーズン1。
Exactly. So the ending, to clarify, is not an end to the actual application. As we have said many times, Brave Frontier 1 will keep running and will keep being serviced, so do not despair. We are talking about an ending story-wise, like they just mentioned, kind of like a seasonal thing or an arc thing, where there is a beginning to the story and eventually there is an end to conclude that particular part of the story. So that is what is being made right now. So don't freak out when we say ending. That doesn't mean that the application itself is ending anytime soon, so don't worry about that. All right, well, let's go to the next one.
So next question from Lester Cray. How much time has passed in the BF2 universe after BF1?
またいい質問ですね。もう海外だけから受け付けようかな。
私たちです。
Yeah. He said he should only pay attention to us from now on, so feeling pretty important right now.
さっきのミンタカさんとちょっとつながってるというか近い話ですけど、BF1 のストーリーをエンディングを迎えますよと、一つ区切りを迎えます、シーズン1として迎えますよって言うんですけど、その後もそのティリスと召喚師は実はね今ストーリーちょうど書いてるところなんだけど、旅に出るんですよ。グランガイア、エルガイアでいろいろこう神々と戦って仲間もできました。で、あとティリスと召喚師はどっか新しいところまだ見たことのない世界を旅立ってで、その後実はね20年の
Oh, wow.
20 years.
Just heard it. 20 years have passed because after the events of Brave Frontier 1, this summoner goes on a journey, on a very special journey, and of course the summoner takes Lilith along the journey, and they go to a different world, a world that has not been seen in the Brave Frontier story as of yet, and you know, lots of things happen, and so 20 years pass before Brave Frontier 2 actually takes place. Cool.
でね、日本でやるイベントですけど、日本のブレフェスってあるんですよね。ブレフェス2017。これがまたこの8月と9月にやるんですけど、そこでねちょっとブレフロ1とブレフロ2の間のエピソードっていうのを今ちょっとね特別な形でちょっとステージでお見せしようと思って、それをね実は作ってます。そのブレフロ2話あります。しかも大阪と東京なんだけど、1話ずつ15分から20分ぐらいのその動画かなで流すんだけど、それが2話あって、1つは10年後 BF1 で、もう1個は BF1 の20年後、つまり BF2 のbeginning of the Brave Frontier 2。
Okay, well, he just told us that there is this very special festival that happens in Japan in the summertime called the Brave Frontier Festival, and they're going to have it here in August and September. And during that festival, they are actually going to show a video in which there is the story that happens between Brave Frontier 1 and Brave Frontier 2. And they actually have two videos. The first one is after 15 years after the Brave Frontier 1 story.
10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Okay, so 10 years after the Brave Frontier 1 story. And then the other video is 20 years after the Brave Frontier 1 story, which is the start of the Brave Frontier 2 story. So they will be showing that during the Brave Frontier Festival, and I hope we also get to see it maybe on the Brave Frontier channel after it has all been released. But they're working on creating that right now as we speak. Really cool.
これいつ放送するんですか
？I'm not sure. Soon.
これあれかな？
Soon.
まだ俺ら話してないんだっけ？ブレフェスのモーションコミックの話。
海外にはしてない。
日本のユーザー。
そういうのを作ってます
これ言ったっけ？
内容はなく言ってモーションコミックを使った動画を見せる。
モーションコミックさん言ったんだよね。あ、そうそう。
Okay.
日本の漫画コミックで少し動きつきながらボイスが入っているものを作るようにして、前回言ったかパリ。はい、それのことですね。一応 YouTube とかにはアップするので、海外のグローバル版の皆さんとかも、見れるは見れますね。やっぱ英語訳した方がいいかも。
We can do it. We should do it. Yeah, we should do it.
はい、お願いします。
Yes. So the video is actually going to be kind of like watching stop motion like manga on the actual like video. So the comics will be like illustrated, and then they will have like voices, and then there'll be a little bit of animation like that. It won't be like a full-fledged animation, but it'll still be reminiscent of manga type of things. And it will be uploaded to YouTube and made available all across the world. So we're gonna work on having that translated so that everybody can enjoy it. So I'll be looking forward to that because I am sure excited. It's gonna be really cool.
So let's move on to the next question. We have a question from slime_guy. So I heard that summoning in BF2 will be different from BF1. How do you plan to make it profitable?
海外の人も気にする。日本人じゃないのこの人。
日本人じゃないです。
I'm not sure.
本当は。スライムガイは。
スライムガイは。
はい。で、ブレフロ2はね、ガチャシステムは BF1 と違う。ガチャシステムじゃないですよ、そもそも。ガチャシステムって、でもあれか、サモニングだからいいのね。召喚の方法はガチャ、いわゆる日本でいうガチャガチャじゃなく、もう名指しで、これが欲しいです。まあ今もう日本でもって出したけど、確定召喚。あれはまだグローバル版にはない。確定召喚ないんだよね。あれ、日本にもすでにあるんだけど、そのシステムに基本的になりますね。ただあれ自体何が出るかが楽しいので、絆瞬間はある。絆。それで本当にお金になりそうですかっていうのは僕も知りません。
Okay.
なったら続きます。
Yes. Well, I hope so. I really hope so. But what Takahashi-san just said is that yes, the summoning system will be different in Brave Frontier 2, as we discussed in our broadcast in Paris. For the Japanese version of Brave Frontier 2, there won't be an actual summoning system as we know it in Brave Frontier right now. Instead of spending your gems and waiting for the surprise that comes out of the gate, in the Japanese version of Brave Frontier 2, you just pay for what you want to get, basically. If you see that there's a unit that you want to get and the unit was worth 5 gems, you pay the 5 gems and you get that unit that you wanted. It's quite simple. You will have the opportunity, however, to do honor summons, just like regular summons, in which you spend your honor summons and you don't know what character you will get, but those honor summons would be free and they wouldn't actually cost you any gems, but just like honor points and things like that. And he also wanted to tell you that he doesn't know if this is going to be profitable or not, but obviously if it is, then they'll continue making the game. So hopefully, it is profitable indeed. Risky, did you want to add something?
確認したいんですけど、絆ステムはユニソンアタックじゃないんですか？
あ、そうそう。
2つのユニットとスペシャルスキルが。Well, let me say.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that yourself.
でも絆召喚から出るキャラクター、いわゆる無料のガチャ、無料のガチャガチャから出るキャラクターにもちょっといいものを入れようと思うし、そのキャラクターとそのユニゾンアタックっていうかをするケースもありますよ、もちろん。
I think your explanation is fine.
Oh, okay. Well, he just wanted to make sure of a few things, but again, Takahashi-san explains that the honor summons you're going to get, not all units are going to be great because again, they're honor summons, and usually, the units they actually have to pay for are better parameters-wise and just, functionality-wise. But the honor summons will have also these units and attacks, and they will also have good properties to them, so they're not going to be, completely useless. You still give them credit because there still will be really good units that you can use anytime, and of course they will be free. So please be looking forward to those on Brave Frontier 2. Excellent.
Yeah, next one. Okay, so just to clarify first, I think if users see these questions, probably they will be thinking why the question is a bit different than the original one. Just to put a disclaimer, we do paraphrase the questions a little bit because some questions are a bit too long. So so we just take the essence of your questions and rephrase it to the questions.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So next question is from Rav. Can you extend the third arc and use the Summoner Avatar as a normal unit in Frontier Hunter, etc.? I think.
さっきの話とちょっと似てました。
そうですね。そうそう。黒版でも使えますね。使えるようにしようと思ってます。はい。黒版とフロンティアゲートとさっき言わせたけど、皆さんの話の延長はしません。日本では7月の下旬にまだ出ますので、要は第6章かな。 そこでまあ一つの区切りは綺麗に終わりますって言ったら。
Okay, so as far as extending the third arc goes, story-wise, they are going to finish the story with whatever it is that they already have planned. And then after that has been added to the game, there will be no more story as far as the Summoner Avatar arc goes in the Brave Frontier 1 story. However, extending the use of the Summoner Avatar in normal functions of Brave Frontier will happen, and Takahashi-san just said that you will be able to use your Summoner Avatar for both Frontier Hunter and Frontier Gate. So be looking forward to that because that's very exciting. Alright.
So let's move on to the next question from Bowwing333. Okay, 3 questions as well.
Very long.
First, can we get a mega metal parade for each element? Evolving or leveling Omnis is hard. Second, will we ever get powered up version of Clarice, Lily, Zaza, and Graffle? And the third one, can you make Omni Priscilla, please?
We get that one a lot. Yeah.
本当日本の人でしょこれ。聞いたことある気がするわ。
They're very, very similar questions to a lot of the ones that he gets in Japanese too. So he's starting to suspect that we're doing something.
やっぱりだから同じことを考えるんですね。まずね、属性の紙ゴッドメタルパレードはね、もう何回も日本のユーザーにも聞かれてるんですけど、別になくても取れるから結構まんべんなく、別にあえていらないよねって、まあ、用意するとすごく長くなっちゃうんでね、炎のとかってブラブラブラブラってゴッドの手前はそれをやってたんで、ちょっとやめよう、やだなと思って増やさないようにしてるってのありますね。
Well, he's gotten this question a lot of times from the Japanese users as well, and he just doesn't see the need for an actual like Mega Metal Parade for each element. He thinks that as things are in the game right now, it's pretty easy to get the fusion materials that you need in order to evolve your units, and just creating separate like levels or dungeons for each one of them would be just too much work that is probably at this point unnecessary. So unfortunately it doesn't seem like this one is gonna happen, guys. Sorry about that.
グローバル版は周回機能に実装されてるんですよね。繰り返しリピート。
そうですね。
まああれがあるからね今はね。
そうですね。
昔と違ってね。だんだんかな。でクラリスリリースかリリーかリリースかリリーはリリース。
これは三星の
マジシャンの
そうですね。はい
闇のマジシャン。
ザザはその方の
ザザはよく知ってます。パワーアップする予定は今のところないな。今のところないですね。
Sorry guys, it doesn't look like there's anything on the schedule to actually get these guys powered up a little bit. So sorry about that. But what about Priscilla?
これね。やっぱプリセラは海外もでも人気ある。
Yes. And I think なんか調査で2位だったんじゃないですか。日本の3位。結構トップティアじゃないですか。
じゃあグローバルチームで作ればいいんじゃない。海外伝説。
Is it okay?
グローバルオムニレボリューション。
Okay.
別にその設定だけ事前にこういう設定どうですか聞かせてもらえれば出したらいいんですよ。
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, Takahashi-san just said, if the global users really want Priscilla that bad, then why don't you guys just make a global Omni Priscilla? So we have the green light. Now we just have to pick up the pieces,
and confirm.
Yeah, present the information, our take on the story and things like that. And hey, who knows? Omni Priscilla will be like right around the corner.
やる本当になんかまた俺が適当なこと言ったから今ジョニーがあっちで青ざめてる。またやらいこと言い出したぞあいつみたいになってるって。
いやでもなんか。
でもそういうのも面白いかなと思って、海外でのグローバルチームがまずそのゲーム送信化をオリジナルでっていうか、まあ相談はするけど、作ってるそれを逆に日本とかねヨーロッパで出すの。
お願いします。それはまあ早速チームに言って。
出る気になってきた。
Oops.
Well, there seems to be some voices in the room that are a little bit, perhaps annoyed at the fact that a global Priscilla would be before an actual Japanese version, Omni Priscilla. But now that we have the green light, we're definitely going to look into this. This is a great chance for us to actually take on a legacy unit that is not 100% global. So we are going to work on this and present, our standpoint and our, illustrations and everything to Takahashi-san. And if he says okay, then we'll get a global Omni Priscilla. Very exciting.
なんか日本ではしないデザインが見れたりするかなと思って、どうも楽しみです。それって。
Yeah, he says that the designs for the global units are very creative and very different from the ones that we get from the Japanese units. So Takahashi-san is also very excited to see what we come up with. So we better bring it, Risky.
Okay.
We better bring it.
I'll discuss it.
All right.
So
next question.
Next question. Question from Super Suit 1. How do you guys see Brave Frontier in 10 years?
長いでしょうね。難しい。
10 years is a long time.
そうだね。でももう4年経ってるんだよね、日本で。まあだから半分弱ぐらいしてるんで、まあそうだね。意外になんだったかんだもん、そう3。
あ、
そうか、そうね。
読んで。
そういうのね。ブレイブフロンティア3が出てる。
Well, if you take into consideration that Brave Frontier 1 has been running for 4 years, if we get Brave Frontier 2 to run for 4 years, then 2 years after that, obviously it would be Brave Frontier 3. So be looking forward to that.
Just like the console cycle, PS1, PS2, PS3,
PS7.
PS7.
Yeah, Brave Frontier 3.
ブランディングですね。
まあそうだね。まあブランディングですよ。そうそう。でもあれだね、ブレフロ1やってる間に2の話すんなって言われて怒られたのに、今度2出る前に3の話してね、知りません。でもきっとそうなるといいよ。それでこそシリーズだ。
Yeah, that would be really great. Of course, he's making the joke that even though Brave Frontier 2 hasn't even been released, that we're already talking about a future when there's a Brave Frontier 3. And then, the first time that you guys heard about Brave Frontier 2, it was kind of unexpected and everybody freaked out. But of course, we are joking around, but it would be a future that we would love to see because we would like the Brave Frontier series to continue on for as long as possible. So if Brave Frontier 3 somehow makes it, 10 years from now, we will be definitely looking forward to it and we'll be really excited to play it. For sure. All right, but at this point in time, the short answer is he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going to happen to Brave Frontier in 10 years. So just keep, watching over the game and playing the game and supporting us, and hopefully it keeps going on for a long time. Okay, Risky.
So next question from Alice. Who is Tarzan? Claire and Colt's father, or Charles' acquaintance? Similar mask or something.
だから本当さ、絶対日本の人だよね。同じ質問だっていう話なんだ。
そうですか。
He's convinced that Japanese people have sent all these questions in because he gets the exact same ones in Japanese.
まあね、ファーゼンはね、誰なんだろうっていうのは謎なキャラクターなんです。
It's a secret. It's basically the short answer. Farzen's identity is concealed for a reason, and we might not ever know why that is.
シークレットとはちょっと違うのかな。本当にわからない。誰もわからない。
Nobody knows.
そう。
Nobody knows who he is. At all.
そう。で、なんでっていうかね、日本のこの歴史上の人物にもそういう人いるんですよ。これ同一人物だったんじゃないか。何々とって明智光秀ですよ。織田信長、明智光秀。
I know 織田信長。
本能寺の変ね。で、明智光秀はその後死んじゃうんだけど、明智光秀その時死んでなくて、この人明智光秀だったんじゃないのっていうのがいるの。日本のあれでも難攻法天下っていう。それはなわけないじゃんって言ってる人と歴史上、いやその可能性あるよこれっていう人とが分かれる。今もう分からない。そういうのはブレイブフロンティアの世界にもあってもおかしくないなっていうことなんです。
That is very interesting. Yeah, so Farzan, the reason why he's a mystery character in the Brave Frontier world is because, well, these things also happen in real history. Not everything gets recorded, not all the books are 100% complete, and we don't know who was where, and all of the people who took place or who participated in all the events in history. And Farzan just happens to be one of those people in Brave Frontier world. And Takahashi-san cites the example of Akechimitsu Hide, who is a person in Japanese folklore and Japanese history who apparently died, but then after his death, there were many people who kind of claimed that he had done other things. But of course, there's other people who speculate and say, how can he do those things? Like he's dead, or they couldn't have been him, like you're crazy kind of thing. But we will never know that side of history because we weren't there to experience it, and we just don't have enough evidence to say that yes, it was him, or no, it wasn't him. And Farzan is one of those figures that in Brave Frontier 2, it happens. Just like in real life, there is history that has not been recorded and we don't have enough to go on. So Farzan is just one of those characters.
僕ら開発した一緒にストーリーを作ったメンバーでも意見が分かれる。
I see. So even the people who have created Farzan, they have different approaches and opinions about who Farzan is because they themselves don't know, and so they argue amongst themselves as to who he is really in this true identity. Very interesting.
ちなみにどっちだと思ってますか?
Well, I thought maybe he was like Charla's friend because the mask is very similar. でもクレアとコルの母なんか父親それは
父親ではないよ。
そうですね。
だって時代の時間の軸が後だから。父親ではない。
So we can rest easy knowing the Farzan is not Clarence Colt's father, even though he has the blue, braid or whatever, because the timeline doesn't match up.
僕はクルト派ですね。ファーゼンはクルトだと思ってます。
Oh, okay.
クルト説を。
I see, I see. So Takahashi-san.
元も子もない。
At least opinion.
Yeah. Takahashi-san's opinion is that actually Farzan is just Colt in disguise. That's his opinion. That's what his speculation, his theory.
But the story doesn't say so.
No. Of course, the story doesn't have anything to do with what he's saying right now. This is just what he says. But again, the creators who are behind Farzan also have different opinions from Takahashi-san. So nobody knows what's true.
Yeah, it's interesting.
だってシナリオライターの一人はいや違いますよ。クルトなわけないなって言ってたら。
Right. Yeah. Because they will say no, there's no way that that's Colt. It has to be somebody else. So
we can keep it a mystery.
Exactly. So it's a mystery. In short, it's a great mystery in the Brave Frontier universe. All right.
Next question from Jeffrey Yuan.
Yeah.
Will we have events for obtaining SP in the future or other options besides frogs?
今ね、SP がもらえるフロッグってまあそっか、セリアフロッグとあれね、もう十分だからもうこれ以上は作らないな。もうだっていっぱいある。
20 SP for the spear frogs.
I forget.
20 SP for the spear frogs.
Yeah, I think something like that. And
Burst Emperor is 5.
Burst frogs themselves are just the one, I think. Okay.
はもうね、いわゆる星1から3のユニット、通常ユニットを大量に合成して SP を上げたって方がすごい早い。
You can also get it from what do you call it? The normal quest. They call it fodder.
Yeah.
They just call it fodder. So just take the quest repeatedly and we just like fuse them.
Right. Takahashi-san says that should be enough, as long as you're using spear frogs or burst emperors to fuse onto your summoner avatar unit. SP is something that you can gain really quickly. So he's not considering adding more ways to obtain SP at this point.
So last question we have from Kira.Narza11. What was your inspiration behind creating Brave Frontier?
これはあれですね、パリでも同じ質問があったね。ですね。もともとエイリムよりも前の会社でゲームを作っていて、その会社でもソフトアニメーションのゲームたくさん作ってたんですね。で RPG もいくつか作ってて。でスマートフォンにちょっと移ってでゲームがちょっといろいろ出てきて始めた頃に もうこれだけこうユーザーもいて動くなら、またそこでそのドットキャラクター、ドットアニメーションがあって、王道のファンタジアリティというのが絶対必要としてる人はいるだろうなっていうのが一番のスタートラインですね。
Well, Takahashi-san actually touched on this while we were doing our broadcast in Paris, but just to reiterate, Takahashi-san a long time ago, he used to work in a company where he used to actually make dot art, pixel art, for other games, and then just when games started being picked up for mobile devices, you know, like on smartphones and things like that, he thought that it would be really, you know, that it was necessary to have a fantasy RPG game that had that kind of pixel art incorporated into the game, and that's why he decided to create Brave Frontier so that everybody could enjoy the kind of game that he was already creating, but just on a different platform and then with a new story and new things.
それが思ったよりたくさんいましたね。世界中にいたからよかったな。
Yeah, and there were more of those than he thought he would encounter. He thought it was a pretty original idea, but then, you know, it just all, in a way, many more RPGs similar to Brave Frontier came along. But, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. We're all different and we all have our own things. So we just enjoy the games that we enjoy. We love to play, so. Yeah. Well, that was the last question. Thank you so much for being here, Takahashi-san. We really appreciate you coming all this way to answer our global users' questions. I hope you enjoyed the questions. Yes?
いい質問が多い。Very good question.
Oh, see? So thank you, global users, for sending these to us so that we could share them with Takahashi-san. Again, we apologize we couldn't cover these during the Paris broadcast, but they've been covered for you now. We learned a lot of exciting new information that we had no idea we were going to get today, so I'm really, really pumped to see them all being implemented into the game. Right? And don't forget to send us questions for the next time that we have another episode. I don't think Takahashi-san will be here next time, but we will do our best to answer your questions as best as we can. Leave comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And do you have a last message for the summoners?
いつもあれやってるのじゃつまんないんで、ブレフロ2でお会いしましょう。またブレフロ2が出てくるまた違うクエスチョンもいっぱい出てくる。その時にまたね、皆さんが何かご質問あれば登場したいなと思います。
Takahashi-san says, next time that we see each other, let's meet each other on Brave Frontier 2, because he knows that once Brave Frontier 2 is released, you guys are going to have a lot of questions for that particular game, so he'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So be looking forward to that. Okay, well that's it for us today. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye!